Peace and love. Oh my voice. Peace and love, family. Peace and love. Yes, baby. Yes. How's everyone doing? Greetings. Greetings. Tonight we're talking about decluttering your mind. Waiting on my mom to hop on.
Hola.
There she is. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Bien.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
Yes, I can hear you.
I know we've been working today.
Yes, today was a day. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I just worked a 10-hour shift and I'm tired.
I know that. I understand. I work too. I guess both of us were in the same space today because you were doing stuff and I was doing things around here. So, which made me think about the whole like decluttering.
Which made you think about the whole
Decluttering, like the importance of decluttering and getting light and just getting rid of things, right? And that, it made me think about it from a physical aspect and a mental aspect. And, we talk a lot about relocating and, going to these places, different, living abroad and doing things that we love to do.
Yeah.
And then it was like, but how much baggage are we taking with us?
Because something you always say is no matter where you go, you taking you with you.
You're going to run right into yourself like, damn, there I am.
Yes. So for those that don't know, today I personally was getting a lot of getting the rental units together, and my mom was in the States also just getting the house decluttered and just doing a lot of letting go, going through old stuff, and just getting lighter. And so tonight we're talking about decluttering because one, that's what we were like kind of both doing today physically, but also when you are like going to the next level, right? When you are getting ready to go to the next level, you can't take all that baggage with you. Hello? When you're getting ready to go to Costa Rica, you can't bring the whole house with you. You got to figure out, okay, what am I going to take? What am I going to leave? And spiritually and mentally, baby, when you're ready to elevate, you got to leave some stuff behind, certain behavior patterns, certain people, certain habits. Like, you got to declutter. So tonight's topic is all about getting out of your own way, getting stuff out of your way, and decluttering so you can go.
Exactly.
Yeah. It felt so good today to get things done, throw things away. I showed you the pictures of the room. We have a storage unit here. Y'all couldn't even see the floor. And I have we have a pretty nice team, but I'm like, y'all, before we do anything else, we need to clean this room. And to go in there, I wish it wasn't dark outside, I would show y'all. But to go in there, you can see the floor now. It's like, oh, it feels good. Right?
Yeah. I was looking at the pictures and you saw my message like, wow, you can actually see the floor. I don't even see how they found things.
No, me neither.
My OCD, that would have drove me crazy. Day one.
Yes. So what's the first step to decluttering your mind? So is it important to declutter your physical space first? Or is it important to declutter your mental space? Because your physical space is a reflection of your mental space.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. So they kind of go hand in hand, right? And you can always tell like how you're feeling based on how the things around you look, right? If you're in a good space, things are tidy, things are where they're supposed to be. But if you're not in a good space, things tend to be, I'll get that tomorrow. I'm not going to worry about the laundry. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. So they kind of go hand in hand. you know, and it really depends on the person. One of the examples that I like to use when it comes to decluttering, like we have a tendency to hold on to physical things, right? And I can speak for myself. Like I have things that I probably should have gotten rid of 10 years ago, and I still have them. Um, but I'm saying that to say, like, sometimes we hang on to things that are really not positive energy, right? Sometimes we hold on to things that out of spite. And I think I may have talked about this before, like out of spite, like I'm not giving this back because I paid for this and I bought this, and you know what I'm saying? Or I'm just not going to give him this person that back. And that doesn't even have to be a partner, it could be anybody, right? So we're holding on to these things out of spite, thinking that we're winning, right? Well, I ain't giving this back. But in actuality, the negative energy that's associated with that thing that we're not giving back, it's causing us more harm than anything, because every time you look at that thing or anytime you know you pick it up or you happen to come across it, depending on what it is, it's like, I have this because, you know, and although we may feel like superheroes because we have it, but sometimes the energy that's attached to it, we really should let it go. And I'm not saying give it back to the person, maybe give it to somebody else, but just letting go of those negative attachments, and they can be physical, right? So that's the point that I'm making with that. So it really just depends. I know for me personally, if I'm like feeling stuck or, you know, pondering on things, it always helps me to remodel, redo, throw things away. That helps me mentally. It helps me to clear my mind. I like to restore things. I like to make things look new and fresh. And so it's kind of the same thing in our minds too, right? We have to get rid of the negative thinking, start, you know, having positive affirmations, you know, telling us ourselves good stuff, that how much we love ourselves and how proud of ourselves we are, you know. And so they go hand in hand. But when it comes to moving abroad or just changing everything, you know, what you do for work, your career, it's nice to have a fresh start. It's nice to have a, even if you can't move right now, like have a nice space, you know, that's dedicated to the things that you want to do. It just feels better. Just absolutely feels better. And clearing energy, you know, we do that on a regular.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you got to open all the windows and the door and be like, all right,
Yeah.
all this stagnant energy, because sometimes it's not negative, it's just stagnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gotta go.
It's
We need
true.
fresh. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's so true. So true. Something that we don't really, well, I'm not going to say that. We are collectively really honoring the fact that a lot of things are energetic. And
Mm-hmm.
we began to really, really, really embrace the fact that everything is energetic. Like you were just saying, like sometimes it's very important to open up that window, to open up the doors, to like declutter energy too.
Mm-hmm.
Because energy you can stack energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Literally stack energy. And I know this isn't a topic that we're on, but let's talk about also being with multiple partners, right? Physically, on the physical level, even though you may not physically be with that person anymore, you still got to declutter and
Mm-hmm.
like clear their energy, because everything is energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so yes, I too feel better when I clear space, or if I remodel or rearrange. It does feel good, but I understand that everything is a reflection of the spiritual. And when I'm in those spaces where I'm cleansing the physical, I'm like, all right, what do I need to also cleanse spiritually?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be really transparent. Like, this is such a great conversation. And when you were saying speaking nice to yourself, being kind to yourself, speaking affirmations to yourself, intercepting low vibrational thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
saying like, no, I'm not going to talk to myself like that, is also really, really, really important. And when you said it, it just resonated with my heart so deeply, because it's like, yeah, like I know these things, but we have to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in the event we're not consistent with beautiful self-talk, then like we began to just become cluttered again, right? Then we got to do a deep cleanse. But if we're consistently decluttering and consistently cleansing, we are right. And again, just speaking on like partnership, friendship, business ship,
all them
also
ships.
yeah.
All them ships.
Phoenix, put your diaper back on. Come here. Sorry, y'all. She has been taking her diaper off lately and making a mess. But today we used the potty. Again, we did 1 and number 2 on the potty.
That's perfect.
But yeah, she like took her diaper off earlier and just pooped. I was like, girl, we're at the pool. Like, why would you just do that? And I made her clean it up too.
Because she's free.
Come on,
she is
right.
Totally free. She sees nothing. Like, she gotta go, she gotta go. So yeah, I was just thinking about what you were saying as far as like reiterating like the positive affirmations and speaking life into ourselves. And it made me think about like how we're like sometimes we get caught up in she don't never say this to me, or he don't never say that to me, or she don't never say that she like we expect it from other people, right? Whether it's a family member, a partner, our children, right? They don't appreciate what I'm doing. Like, it doesn't even matter like who it is, but there is that level of expectation that we get a shout out on some level. And like where we are so hyper focused sometimes on the external affirmations, we need to be able to do that for ourselves. And then anything that anyone says is a bonus, right? It's a bonus. Because I already know. But thank you for confirming what I already know. And like, that's not even, being cocky, because that's the other thing, right? When we stand in our truth, when we say we deserve certain things, then there's like negative connotations that come with that, right? Oh, you think you all this and that. Yes, I do. Because we've been so programmed to not love ourselves, to focus on materialistic things and, the husband, the wife, the car, the house, the this, the that. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, here, especially in the US, positive affirmation, speaking life into yourself, like that's almost strange for some people, right? I've done therapy with people where I've said like, okay, this is what I want you to do. And it's like, ooh, really?
I know.
I don't want to do that. Look at yourself in the mirror and look yourself in the eyes and tell yourself how much you love yourself. No, oh, really? I don't want to do that, But that's what needs to be normalized, because we're all part of the Most High.
And I was listening to our favorite audiobook, Hiring the Heavens, again today. And there was a part in the book that she said, the universe or the world, it was an example. It was like somebody was like, oh, you must think the world revolves around you. And she was like, yeah, actually it does. Yeah. It does. What I feel like I deserve, I'll get, I'll have. What I feel like, I need, everything that you need is within you. So what she was saying is like, yeah, like the universe actually does revolve around me, because I am deserving. I am 100% deserving. I am 100% deserving of the life that I desire, the partner that's compatible and in alignment with, my belief system and everything. Like, you are so deserving. You do not have to compromise ever, ever, ever.
Exactly.
And so again, being intentional with decluttering, because you can have so much clutter and so much chatter that you confuse your dang on self, acting like, you'll confuse yourself because you're still holding on to insecurities or some doubt. So you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm deserving to live in Costa Rica, or to live in Bali, or to live, and then because you haven't cleared out, that low vibrational stuff, those insecurities. You ain't cleared it out yet.
Mm-hmm.
Here it come creeping up.
Yeah.
Deserve that. You don't deserve that. You ain't even. So, um, yeah. So what ultimately what we want to really inspire, clear your space. We want to inspire you to clear your space, clear your energetic space, clear your physical space. And if you're moving abroad or you're thinking about moving abroad, something that you have to ask yourself is this a long-term move? Is this a temporary move? Are you going to keep your home base wherever you currently are? Or are you getting rid of everything? But in the event you're getting rid of everything, you also have to let go of some things that don't serve you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're relocating, you don't want to take all of that stuff with you because one, the import fee is insane. If you got extra baggage at the airport, be prepared to pay for that. So even thinking about the additional expenses that comes with bringing extra stuff that you don't need, is a testimonial within itself. So when you are thinking about, okay, let me get ready to prepare to relocate, what does that look like? What seriously do you not need anymore? Can you do a yard sale? How about you go ahead and do a yard sale for everything you don't need anymore and make some extra cash to book your flight? Like, get rid of it. Let it go. And energetically, same. Like, get clear. Get clear. Continue to get clear. Continue to speak exactly what it is that you want. Continue to align with your birthright. Continue to remind yourself of who you are, what you're deserving of. And get clear energetically. Don't take that stuff with you either. Because, yeah, life abroad may look beautiful, but I will say, I mean, I don't know, but I have heard horror stories about people that have moved to another country and caused a lot of problems. And although that's not my experience personally, and this is just hearsay and just listening to stories, what caused them to cause problems when they went? Because they didn't deal with some stuff first. So different location don't change you or what you may dealing with. So,
Right.
Get intentional with clearing so you don't cause harm to other people in other countries or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Because that geographical change is not, you just change in location. And
yes.
and sometimes, when people relocate, now, they're by themselves or they're just with family. So those buffers that they used to have, they don't have those buffers anymore, right?
Right.
And people do this too. Again, it's not my personal experience, but like if there's issues within the relationship and then you guys decide to move to another country, there's still going to be issues. Trying to isolate yourself from the people, places, and things, that doesn't work either. We still have to deal with it. And we say this all the time. The things that we don't deal with, they will deal with us at some point. And so it's good to be clear. Like, we're always working, we're always on a journey, we're always learning things about ourselves. But there's also some things that we already know that we have just been avoiding. I'm just gonna move. I'm just gonna move to another country.
And that ain't it. That ain't
Because you taking you with you. And yeah.
And also, I'll speak on this too, like from an energetic standpoint. Like some locations that we choose also are energy center points for us in one way or another. So if you're not like in tune with like astrocartography or you really don't understand longitude and latitude and like, just really the science behind certain locations, but also the energetic impact that certain places have on you, it can also bring out a lot of um, things that you ain't even like you never even were faced with before. The location can present certain stuff to you, and if you haven't been doing the work or just really taking a deep dive into again decluttering, that could be very, very, very traumatic, very uncomfortable. So that's another thing too. Like certain areas have a totally different influence on you than other places do.
Yep.
Some places are better for you than others.
That's
And
so true.
yeah, it's just that's a matter of you deciding that and really being in tune with that.
Hmm.
But
It made me think about when I had my astrocartography chart read, there were certain places that were not going to produce productivity. There were places, and I can't remember which countries it were, but it were places where we're really just designed to rest and reset.
mm-hmm.
Right? So sometimes we can be drawn to a particular place, but it's really to rest and reset and not to build a business, right? So now we're here and it's like, oh my God, I can't get nothing done because it's not the place, energetically that where you're supposed to be, which I thought that was very interesting because I didn't even think about that part, until Shadanis explained it to me. There's places that produce healing, there's places that produce business, relationships. So every place, even though it's on the chart, it doesn't represent the same thing.
Mm-hmm. So true. I just tagged Adonis in the. I just pinned her Instagram below. This is the astrocartographer that I. She's my friend. But before her, before we were, actually, we've always been pretty good friends. But I, um, I booked a reading with her, uh, October 2019. And it provided so much clarity for me geographically, spiritually. It just helped me to really understand the planet, and it helped me to understand what works for me, what doesn't work for me. And I honestly will say, I took what she shared with me. I didn't take it literal at first. I was like, oh, this is just great information. But the way things began to unfold for me, like months later, and how, yes, like my mom was saying, certain places is about rest and reset, certain places are about community, certain places are about business. Just seeing that unfold for me and then reflecting on that conversation, I was like, oh my God, this is accurate, a little accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I've called on her, like, hey, can you help me to see the stars and, really understand certain things, certain aspects of the planet? Because we're all one, we're all interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
We are the water, the moon, the stars. We're all one. And so understand that the planets are our sisters and our brothers and our ancestors, and some the stars are our ancestors. Like there's guidance there. And
Mm-hmm.
it helped me to really truly understand that there's guidance in nature. Mama. Yes. And that God is like the orchestrator of all.
That's right.
So yeah, so just speaking on Shadamas real quick. So I pinned her, and when you contact her or if you go follow her or whatever, tell her Miss Nicole and Dominique sent you, and we love her. Tell her we love her.
Yes.
All that. So yes, baby. So yeah, it's been really, really, really amazing, and a pretty intense decluttering journey, and just kind of like downsizing and just energetically decluttering and things like that. So if you're thinking about relocating, if it's on the forefront of your mind, the very first step we would say is to start getting light.
Mm-hmm.
Get light. Okay, like get rid of stuff. Get light. Your spirit, get light.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the very first step that you can take.
Absolutely. There was a couple of comments in the chat. One that kind of caught my eye. The young lady was saying that, let me make sure. Live started just as I started working on my home clutter.
Yes. Alignment.
Yeah,
The
for real.
Yeah, the divine alignment. Does anyone have questions? We can definitely answer some questions, and if you haven't already got secured a spot with our upcoming workshop, we have a 4-day workshop, February the 1st through the 4th, where we are working through the process of decluttering first, getting through that mental stuff, and helping not helping you, because you already know what to do. We just are here to
Support.
And to put a plan together, because you know what to do. You have the information, you have the knowledge. You're just not anything, or you're afraid. So our group is to empower you not to be afraid. Like, stop doubting yourself. And what are the things you need to do to make the next best step to make money online and live abroad? Like, it's simple, it's easy. So what is the process for you? And it's not one shoe fits all. I'll be honest. Like, what works for me may not work for you. So that's why we're also offering support, one-on-one support for you in particular, for a personal plan. So if you haven't already joined us, or if you're not joining us, or you don't have your spot, February the 1st through the 4th, we're doing a live virtual workshop. And it's going to be jam-packed with amazing things. And also, the most important thing is helping you to secure a realistic plan, a clear plan, and to establish an online income and live wherever you feel like living. Like, it's time. It's time to break free of the 9 to 5. Actually, if that's your culture, that's your culture. But if you're anything like me and you don't want to be bonded to, you don't want to have someone else taking you, controlling your schedule. Like, what? No, if you want to make your own schedule and you want to travel, you want to spend. We woke up this morning, went to the beach. It was raining. Yes, like, if we just do whatever we feel like doing because we can. Like, we don't have anyone controlling our schedule. I wake up at 4 to get some stuff done, but that's my choice. But I say all of that to say, if you just want some freedom and you want to travel, this workshop will be so great for you. And it's an opportunity to get one-on-one support, and we ain't doing this no more. Especially not at this beautiful.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
I'm just putting that out there. Like, this enrollment fee is really generous, very, very, very generous. But we just saw a need to support. So we just were like, let's just do something real generous so we can support. But this will be the first, not the first, but this will definitely be probably, yeah, we won't do a workshop like this. It'll be different.
Yeah. There was daily dose of 2020, I think is what it says. I want to get an RV and head south, but I don't know if an RV is reasonable in South America.
Yes, it is. That's like the primary. Are you on YouTube? I watch art. Like, I watch. Oh my goodness! There's a lady. She lives in a van with her husband and her 2 boys. They are in an art. They're in a van traveling across South America. I have to find her Instagram and share it with you. I'm so inspired. I don't want to live in a van, but I'm like, girl, like, I'm making full course meals in this van. And where the boys sleep? I still ain't figured out where the boys sleep. But they're in South. They're in Brazil. They're in Brazil, and they're traveling from Brazil to Peru. It's beautiful. Again, not for me, but I'm like, yes. And so I'm so fascinated. So it is. You just follow what I encourage you to do. Start getting on YouTube and, like, searching exactly what it is you want to do, and find people that are doing it, and ask questions, or, see if you can tap in with them. But
the Facebook groups too.
Yes,
The Facebook groups.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
People be sleeping on Facebook, but Facebook has a ton of community groups and so many different, oh my goodness, it doesn't matter what group you identify with or what you want to know. They have tons and tons of groups out there. So, look into those groups too and ask questions.
Yeah, I second that. When I was doing some solo traveling stuff, I joined Girls Love Travel on Facebook, and I made friends. I connected with women all around the world, and I was also a flight attendant. Y'all know that. And so I would go on to Girls Love Travel and like see what events were happening, where my layovers were. And then also like I got into paddle boarding like for a little bit, and I joined like some communities about paddle boarding, and it was just so resourceful. And to be honest, all of my resources for Costa Rica came through Facebook groups. So, and it just
Yep.
evolved. But I was able to make some things shake through Facebook communities. And we still continue to do that. So yeah, it's possible. And if it's not, baby, you create the culture. Hello,
Yeah.
you are a creator. So if you don't see nobody doing it, you do it.
That's
You do it. You find out what your visa requirements are. You find out how to get your RV to South America, and you do the dang on thing. Because as long as you can be there legally, I'm pretty sure you can drive an RV.
yeah.
Because I see people doing it in the van. Yeah. And like, yeah, I gotta find it. I don't know who put the comment in there, but I gotta find the girl. You know the girl I'm talking about, Mama? It's an
I'm not
interracial
sure.
couple. It's a interracial couple. Um, she got two beautiful biracial boys, and they live in that. I sent them to you the other day.
I have to go back through my. You send me a lot of stuff, girl.
Yeah, no, I
So.
do. I do. But yeah. So it don't even the life you want don't even gotta look like nothing nobody else has ever did.
That's right.
Right? Like you can start a culture of I don't know, like go I don't know anything, and it's okay. It's fine. So anybody else have any other
There was
questions?
another question in here, but it was about gonna look them up. Thank you, thank you. You're welcome. Let's see. There was a question about how long did it take you to become debt free, something like that.
Okay. Um. So debt free. So that's like it. It took less than a year. It took less than a year to get rid of my debts. Um, and now I understand debt in a totally different manner. But I would say September, October, November, December, January. Uh, 8 months. 8 months. I was able to become debt free in 8 months. And that was a matter of applying knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
applying information, applying what I know, not just learning, but applying what I know, being resilient, and just taking action, but most importantly, believing. I think my belief just like really catapulted me because
Yep.
I just believe in in everything. And I truly believe that I deserve to be debt free. I believed it, I felt it, I seen it, I smelled it. And in 8 months, I was able to not have any debt. Got a little bit of debt now, but it's little debt, like little debt, but it's good debt. It's really good debt. Um, so yeah, hope that helps. Getting rid of all of your possessions, or can some be shipped? Yeah, stuff can be shipped. You can ship your things. It's a matter of just being aware, knowing that there are some taxes that you will have to pay. There's not a way around that. If you decide to ship, it it can be a process,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're shipping a car. So like for me, it was easier to get rid of everything and just put what I could in my suitcase and just start fresh. Right now, I do want to ship a car here though, because looking at the prices of cars here and the same model of car in the U.S., it actually works out better to ship even with the import, with
Mm-hmm.
the fees and stuff like that. It's cheaper, but I got rid of everything. Like I wanted to live very minimalistic. And even my poor daughter, not my poor daughter, my amazing daughter, she ain't got no toys. Cause I just am like, we don't need that. Like, let's live minimal. We don't need, this. But
That's
when
why I got a suitcase full of toys.
we went to
Because
the toy
Papa
store,
is not having that. Papa was ordering stuff on Amazon, girl.
like, you need this. We don't need none of that. She got the ocean. She got herself. We can entertain each other. But now I'm like, my baby. So we did go to the toy store also yesterday and got a lot of toys. A lot of stuff for the beach. Got bubbles and puzzles and a big old calendar with like the numbers on it. So yeah, I'm doing better. Doing better. So, is there an EV charging network in Costa Rica? Mama, what's that?
I didn't hear the question. An EV charge. Oh, no, I have not in Porto the electric vehicle, the charging station. I have like on where we're at, ain't no charge. That's not happening. They'll probably take out the light, the electricity.
Oh, that would be a disaster.
Probably like close to like San Jose, La Fortuna, like the bigger cities. They may, but I honestly don't know. I don't even recall seeing an electric vehicle while we were in San Jose
Yeah.
or any of the surrounding areas. They're old, like it's South America, like it's old school. Like they gas.
Like, yes. The but for me, the dream car here is like a 1999 Suzuki Sidekick. Like
Yeah.
that's where it's at. Some 94. Anything that got 4-wheel drive, that's what
Because that's the other thing too. Like if you're considering, depending on where you're considering moving to, like where we are in Puerto Viejo, some of the roads they've got potholes and gravel and the incline is
yeah,
like this. Like you don't even want to have a nice car there because you are going to tear it up,
yeah,
so it takes the infrastructure there. Like now they've started to, expand the main roads, but like the side streets and things like that, you don't even know where you're gonna end up at for real. Ain't no street names, ain't no house numbers. Like
yeah,
it's just whoever owns that house. Like, oh,
yeah.
Zainab's house right there. Like that's it.
Tanisha
So like
said she
don't
said it was a car from 1999 with a TV in it. Not a TV.
and you will be the shit. That's right.
Tanisha was here last time though, and she came over. The car that dropped her off, child, that thing was falling apart on the outside, and then later she told me it had holes in the floorboard. She said it had holes in the floorboard. She thought it was gonna fall through.
They will take any car and call it a taxi.
Yes, give me a bike, and it's good. So, but again, like this is only on the Caribbean coast. The Pacific side is bougie. Um, quick story. Phoenix's dad, he's coming to visit her or whatever, and he is like real like extra. And he was like, I want to rent a car to pick up my baby and like do all this stuff. And I was like, well, let me let you know like about how and where we live. And he was like, basically, so he had done research. Long story short, there is a side of Costa Rica that is very accommodating to like new cars, casinos, and everything like that. But I was like making it clear that no, like where we are, baby, where we are, like it's a no. And like he just could not fathom or process what I was trying to say. He was like, so like it was just so difficult to explain it. So what my mother and I are talking about is where we live in Costa Rica, but this does not apply to all of Costa Rica.
Exactly.
This is where we are. And we chose where we are because I don't know if y'all were on the call the other day. Like we living out my grandmother's dream. My mother's mother, my oma. Shout out to my oma. I should have opened up with that. Shout out to my oma.
That's right.
We love the Caribbean. We love roots. We love Afrocentric Latina. We love just culture, music, roots.
Yeah.
And so we chose more of a slow pace, off grid, like pura vida, pure life. Like ain't nobody in no rush for real to do
Not
nothing. It's
no
like
rush. Not
no,
a
not at
rush
all.
at none.
Mm-mm. And this is what we chose. And this life, this where we are, it's like it's off grid. Like I was out talking to Nisha about this today too. I'm like, are we off grid? She was like, sis, we sat here with no shoes on. Like we we walk around barefoot and ain't nothing but plants. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And you're right. We're in the jungle. So
Yes.
if you're asking questions about a car, please don't apply that to all of Costa Rica. Just apply it to um,
Puerto
where,
Viejo.
yeah.
Yeah. And Puerto Viejo is like on the bottom part of Costa Rica, and it bumps up to Panama, if that paints a picture. And then even that part of Panama is Caribbean. So there's like it's sand, beach, walking, like it's just not a whole lot of. The jungle does have good Wi-Fi in some areas. Zainab's on Wi-Fi now, and she, it's been uninterrupted. It just depends on where you are. We've been in places where there is no Wi-Fi and there's no Wi-Fi coming anytime soon. And then we've been to places that has fiber optic. It just really depends on the area when it comes to that part. Um, how is the cost of living in comparison to the U.S.? That, with Costa Rica, same thing. It just depends on where you are, which part of Costa Rica that you're in. I will say Puerto Viejo, which is the Caribbean side, is now on the map. So we've noticed an increase in prices that are almost equivalent to the U.S. Things are a little bit more expensive compared to when we were there a year and a half ago.
But I will say this: since being back home, being back home, our experience when we came, Mama, when we was here, it was like really expensive. And looking at Airbnb, it was kind of
It
insane.
was rough, yeah.
But dealing with locals and acting like locals and shopping where the locals shop, shopping at Polly instead of Superman, like it's okay.
Okay.
And even a conversation that I had talking about some rental properties or whatever. Um, there's like a rental property around the corner for $450 a month, and it's nice. And it's just a local person that ain't trying to get over on nobody. Just want to provide a place to live. They not making a profit. And I found myself saying, "Oh, you need to acting like an American." I said 450, but let him be great because he's not missing out on anything, and he's happy. And then like we've been going to the farmers market, and we do eat out. Like I've just been enjoying eating, period. But I will say that we have been going to a cool local store right around the corner. We can walk there or ride the bike. It's a really nice lady that owns it. She's a local. Her and her mother, and like they prices so reasonable. We got like today we got like a lot of stuff, and I didn't even spend 1,000 colognes.
Well,
So
that's real good.
yeah,
That's the other thing. The longer you stay and the more that you start moving around, that's why we, talk about getting to know the locals, because that's when it becomes cheaper.
yeah,
Because they got the gems. They know where the little hidden markets are
yeah,
at. Well, I ain't even gonna say hidden. Because the tourism stuff is always on the forefront. The big supermarkets with all the things. So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the longer you stay and the more you're at home, you learn,
Mm-hmm.
you learn about what's
Yeah,
available. Somebody had asked what was the currency. So the currency there is called colones, but they also take dollars. And
mm,
lot of like your restaurants and places like that, they take debit cards, but your mom and pop stores, they generally would prefer that you pay them in colones using
yeah,
their
yeah,
currency. And that's because the dollar is fluctuating so much that they may or may not get the right amount of money.
Yeah.
There was a time where people would hold on to their dollars and then trade them in so that they can get more money on the back end. But the way our dollar is set up right now is too risky. So they prefer to just pay, that you pay them in colonas. And
Yeah.
I think the cell phone service there is what, Liberty?
Yeah. Yeah. It's Claro and Liberty.
Okay, yeah. So,
And
and that
it works fine.
yeah, and like I have Verizon and you have T-Mobile, and neither one of us have had any issues. It's just really depend on what you want to pay. I'm
Mhm.
about to switch though, because I'm not paying that.
Yeah, I have a local SIM card, and it's fine. And I just use WhatsApp. It's perfectly fine. So when you and we'll talk about this in the workshop, like
Mm-hmm.
how do you get your local phone? How do you find locals? How do you without breaking the bank? What happens when you relocate and you need certain things? So we're gonna cover all of this in the workshop. And we're able to cover this in the workshop because we already took one for the team. We already made all the mistakes.
Yes, we
Not all the
have
mistakes. We
a,
done made
a good
a
a
good
good
bit.
bit.
We done made a good bit of mistakes. We done lost a good
Yes.
bit of money. We have met a good bit of people that present themselves to be amazing, and they end up being like somebody you don't want to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll share all of that with you, how to avoid scams, because we did get scammed, um, how you avoid that, and like all type of stuff. And so the workshop is just a moment for us to be really transparent. It might look beautiful on the outside, but it's been a lot of some challenges. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll talk to you particularly about how you make it happen for
Mm-hmm.
you and how to avoid certain stuff
And how to
and protect your
navigate.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how to
yeah.
navigate. Somebody said, "Were you bilingual before moving?" Child, we still ain't bilingual.
Who bilingual? Phoenix? Phoenix? Oh yeah. Phoenix
I'm
wasn't with you
bilingual, but I
now.
don't speak not Spanish. But there's so many German people in Costa Rica that I speak German every single day while I'm there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm learning Spanish though every day. My nanny doesn't speak. I told her don't speak to me in English, and I mean she don't speak English anyway. But um, Phoenix and her, Phoenix is like really speaking Spanish, and I'm like, can you translate Phoenix or whatever? But as Phoenix is learning, and also like other people, they're teaching me too. Like today I learned how to ask for to-go food, and yesterday I'm learning. It's just you got to be open to learning.
Mm-hmm.
I totally am. But I was intentional and was like, talk to me only in Spanish, okay? And like people that are really bilingual, our boy, for example, mine, like I'm like, talk to me in Spanish, okay? He's like, all right, why you talking so fast?
Yeah.
And I'm like, slow down.
I feel like the people in Costa Rica have a accelerated speed in Spanish because I can understand, but they have to slow down.
Yeah. I'm like, now you know that was way too fast. But it's really cool to see Phoenix like really understanding. Y'all should have saw her cleaning the pool today. And it's like it's just a joy. And her nanny asked her, "Did she want to go to the beach in Spanish?" And Phoenix was like, "Yes." Like she was like, "Yeah, she want to put her shoes on." It's like, look at my child.
Wow.
But yeah, Stella was asking her, "Did she want to go to the beach?" And Phoenix looked at me and said, "Bye bye, mommy. Bye bye."
Wow.
I was like, "Bye." And they stayed at the beach all day. They got back at like they got back from the beach at like 3:30. They were there all day, and it was hot today. And they got back. Um, Stella gave her a bath. It's so wonderful to have a nanny and a housekeeper. Oh my God! Oh my goodness! She gave her a bath. She Phoenix ended up eating with me, but just nice. Like I ain't have to deal with that sand, and I was just chilling, and I like that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't want to get too much off topic, y'all. Join the workshop. Join
That's
us
it.
next week. Like, come on in the workshop, ask all the questions you want to ask. Let us help you put together your relocation plan and make money, right? Like, that's what it's about, too. Like, let us show you how you can establish an online income. There's a lot of options for you. just have to be dedicated and consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But it's possible. It's possible.
Absolutely.
You can do anything. And with what we have learned over the years, we can talk to you about how to make it even easier and how to have premium prices if you're going to be an entrepreneur, opposed to a low ticket item. You know, that you gotta, like, we'll talk about everything. Because just come with an open mind and come ready to implement. Come ready. You got a retreat coming up. You got a product you want to drop. You got a Shopify store you want to start. You got to, just come ready to execute, because we're going to help you put a plan together and then share everything that we've learned with you to make it work. Yeah,
Exactly.
because, we got a lot to share. And a lot of beautiful things have been working for us. And it's like, all right, this works for us. It's going to work for the next person too.
That's
So,
right.
risewithzainab.com. Join the workshop. Like I said, it won't be a lot more like this in the future, just because of the amount of energy and the amount of like one-on-one that we're going to be doing. We just won't have the capacity like that. So we're trying to make it.
About to have a baby soon.
Yeah,
So.
true. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, I told myself I was going to put myself on maternity leave. And then I'm like, what does maternity leave even look like? And I was thinking, I just like serving. I like being of service.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like want to go on maternity leave, but I still want to help people. I still want to serve people. So I'm like, what is maternity leave anyway? So I'm about to have a baby, and I'm considering, well, I am going to put myself on maternity leave, but like we're finishing the studios for guests to come, and I'm about to be all up in everybody's face. Like every guest that we have, like I want to know, I want to be up close and personal. And so it's like, is that maternity leave? Like, does that contradict my maternity leave? Like I am gonna be checking in. You're gonna be checking people in, and I want to sit down and like maybe even, how we are. We just want to be all up in your business.
Well, let's just go with the flow.
Yeah, that's true.
Because sometimes it's like, I'm going to relax for a minute. Because remember, relaxing is productivity too.
That's true.
And so, you do what works for you. And that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You don't even have to label it as maternity leave. Like you can just take time off when you want to.
Yeah.
And if you have the energy to want to, see what the people are doing, then you can go see what the people are doing. You know what I mean? Like you don't even have to give it a name. Today's
You're right.
my day.
Yeah.
Today's an off day. Today's the day I'm gonna socialize.
Yeah. You are absolutely right. You don't even have to. It can just be what I feel like doing.
Exactly. And that's where the freedom lies. Maternity leave is when people get 6 weeks off to be at home with their kids. That's maternity leave. That's the maternity leave I know from the United States now. In other countries, you get a year and up to 2 years to be at home, but it's not like that in the US. So
true. You're right. So just ease and flow. And so thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Mine, you got a message you want to close us with, and that's in alignment with decluttering?
Just create a space. Even one of the things that I find to be very important, whether it's inside or outside, is having that place where you can just have your own zen, have your own energy, like just your husa spot. I think that that's so important, especially with moms, and if you have a lot of kids or married, there's a lot of in and out and up and down and cooking and this and that. We're busy. So having that place that's free of clutter so that you can declutter your mind, even if you can't necessarily declutter your entire space right now because of other reasons. Just be free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just be free. I receive that. That's great.
Be free.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right, y'all. Sign up for the workshop if you are just really ready to get the F up out of here, make money online, create the life you want with some support, and or just tap in, just stay connected, join the live, share the live. That's that's plenty. You know, you can get a lot of encouragement as long as you can feel inspired within yourself. You are right. You are perfectly fine.
That's right.
So we love y'all. Mommy, I love you.
Yes, love you too. Good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. And we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Adios.
Adios. Good night, Phoenix.
Good night, Omi. Good night, Omi.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
I'll FaceTime her
All
privately.
right.
All right. Bye.